What's up? What's up? What's up? Feeling good today, man. Want to share my day with you guys. As you pile in, man, please hit that thumbs up button, man. I'm happy. I'm happy. Dot happy. I'm happy. Dot happy, y'all. Um, so let me just do this here. Yeah. Videos. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna go live. Gonna make sure I get this thing over here. Then we're gonna get at it. We are going to get at it. Shit. Excuse me. All right, what's up, y'all? I want to talk about something tonight. Went to therapy today. I want to just get that back in, and I want to talk about that tonight and tell you. And hey, little lady, I want to get that in and tell you guys. I want to share with you guys the importance of therapy. I'm gonna tell you guys why I went to therapy and the perspective as to why I went, because I want to make sure I am live here. Make sure, right. And I'm not. Okay. All right. So I want to, like I said, I want to talk about. I want to talk about going to therapy. I went to therapy tonight, and I'm going to tell y'all today actually, and I want to tell y'all how good it felt going back to therapy. How good it felt, and to honestly, to say I have someone to talk to. People, I'm gonna tell y'all. Excuse me. I'm gonna tell y'all about. I'm gonna tell you guys about a person like myself that is that have gave a lot to people. I gave a lot to people, and I haven't gotten a very large percentage on my return. I seen a video. And let me see if I can find that video. But I seen a video, and that video said that if that person like you, you'll know it. She'll buy you things. She'll do this and do that. I seen a video that talked about, one dude was talking about how don't under no circumstances feel like you gotta sit there and listen to and be, all these things to your family. If your family, in fact, is treating you like trash, then move on. But I want to see if I can find this video because it's one of the things, it's one of the reasons why actually I find myself going to therapy. It's one of the reasons why no matter what happens, I will, excuse me, I will not feel as though I have done anything wrong. Um, okay, it's not here. It's not there. So it's not there. So let me look in here. Unfortunately, there are a lot of women out there. Unfortunately, I liked it when she said it. Let me see if I can find it. Not there. I'm gonna look some more.
With Diet Coke. Really trying to be healthy with that Diet Coke, huh? Would you like to make that a large meal? Honey, if I make it any larger, you will have to roll me out of here like one of your potatoes. Could I just get some fries and a cheeseburger with no cheese or burger? Sir, what is wrong with you? I'll just take the usual. Yeah. So you want 6 Big Macs, 3 large fries, 40 chicken nuggets, and a shake?
What are you doing, little dog? What are you doing? What are you doing, little dog?
Ladies, if you don't like that man, don't take his money though, because that's whoever Rob is, that man's who's able to the transgender. Black women are the as soon as this we're 4th generation, I hate to say this, but I had a feeling that the left loves to delete CapCut from God forbid. It's time to classify the Lord, I think I just figured it out. I want to know what I just know. Is anyone else real? So when Obama deports 3, well, you know they have some women that's about. Trying to be so brash. Seriously, Dave, Democrats are sure to pay close attention. California is for years a Democrat.
I can't find it, but all right. Let me get this thing started. So I went, like I was saying, I went to therapy today, and the beautiful thing about this therapy is I have never ever went to a therapist where I put all of my issues on the table. So I put the entire, every problem that I had in my life, I am going to be discussing it with this therapist. You know, one of the things that I didn't talk about with my therapist, not surprisingly to me, I didn't talk about my therapist, talk to my therapist today about wanting to be married. I didn't talk to my therapist today about feeling the need. There's a void missing in my life. You know, the crazy thing that when I was talking to my therapist today that I realized is, you know, people expect nice guys to be like, they want to, you know how you, like, I dropped this phone and this phone actually has a cracked screen. You want to go back to the moment before you dropped it. And that's how people want you to be. People want nice individuals to be who you were the moment before they disrespected you. They want you to be, they want you to be that person that you were before you realized, oh, okay, I get it. You don't want me. Okay, I get it. This is how you are. Okay, I get it. You're the catch. So I gotta just dismiss my life and tag on to you. People want you to be that person before that. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not that person. I'm never going to be that person. I'm never going back to be that person. And that's what people want you to be. I talked about that with my therapist today. And I feel happy that I'm not going back to be that person. The one thing when my therapist said, what is it that you want from therapy? I told my therapist, I just want to make sure I know what's coming, I told my therapist, I just want to make sure that, I want to make sure that when when the time comes, I am not sitting there caught up into some type of trance. So let me help you understand what I told my therapist today. And this is how it is. And you could not understand this if you want to. And because I talked about my therapist about this, I talked to my therapist about this today. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna share it with you guys today. It was about 2018. It was before the pandemic. And it was before the pandemic. So it was when Walmart used to stay open 24 hours. And I remember it was about 1:30 in the morning. And I got up and I went to Walmart. It was about 1:30 in the morning. It was my last episode that I really had with my depression. It was the last episode. It was the last biggest episode that I had with my depression. And I'm telling y'all this because I learned that when it comes to depression, you're never over it, number one. Number two, it's like, when you hear these individuals that are going through sobriety and they say one day at a time, it's kind of like that. But I'm gonna tell you about this situation that I had. I was talking to my therapist about this today. New therapist, first day going to him, and her, excuse me, and that is so I shared this with them, and I want to help them understand. And I shared this with them because they asked me, what do I want? What is it that I want to get from coming to therapy? And I'm gonna just say, little lady, what do you want? I'm gonna just tell y'all, I'm so happy. Hold on. you want, little lady? I gotta work, man. I gotta work, little beautiful. I gotta work, little beautiful dog. So I told my therapist when they asked, what is it that you want for therapy? I said, I'm gonna answer that by telling you this. I said, I know what's coming. And I am excellent. I have excellent foresight and I know what's coming. So I'm gonna tell you guys what's coming. I want a family. I want a child. I want a wife. I want that. I don't think I'm not asking nobody in America for that. I know that is not possible. I get it. I know I will never be, for whatever reason, I know I will never be a woman's come first. I realize that it doesn't matter if she doesn't have kids. She will have a niece. She will have a nephew. She will have a mother. She will have a brother. She will have an auntie. She will have something. She will have something. Women of color just don't value men. And the problem with that is I am a man and you can't get me cheap. The market of love for this community is men ain't shit and women won't. I don't see that changing. So I told my therapist when she asked, finally, what is it that you want from therapy? I said, let me tell you a little story about what happened to me. It was around 2018. It was before the pandemic, once again, because Walmart was staying open to 24 hours. And I remember 1:30 in the morning, I needed something, and I actually jumped in my car at 1:30 in the morning, and I went to Walmart. So I goes to Walmart. It's 1:30 in the morning. Little lady, what's the matter? And I'm on my way home. It's like 1:45, 1:50 in the morning. And literally, depression popped up in the passenger seat. And depression said to me, look at you. No good niggas up in some pussy right now. You're by yourself at 1:30 in the morning, driving back home. Why don't you go ahead and end it? What are you doing here? Meaning life. And when I had that little episode in 2018, I was like, oh shit. Like it was like the strongest time. It was like depression will find a innocent moment and turn it into another chance that you putting a bullet in your fucking head. So I left my therapist's office today with a new cause. Double D Pod. That's the new company. That's defeating the point of destruction. I defeated the point of destruction. Double D Pod. That's defeating the point of destruction. And that is my story. That is my life. You know, a white man could be strung out on heroin and crack. He'll find a woman that'll nurse him back to life and love him. I'm a black man. That's not an option for me. Women need me to be perfect. Women need me to not make these videos in order for them to introduce me to their family. Women need me to be this certain class of man to introduce me to their friends. I'm not that, so I will never get that. No matter how I am as a person, it doesn't matter. Women don't take heed to the battles that I have. That's why I was happy when I was talking to my therapist. I was happy talking to this white woman. Happy. Because I know with a white women, they still are grounded and they still have a woman's heart. They still have it. And when you're dealing with these women of color, you just don't get it. It's a real shame that they're too busy being boss bitches. They're too busy being alpha females. They're too busy being independent. and say nothing about being feminine. Men need feminine. We don't need nothing else. We don't need those dumb fuck characteristics of a woman. We don't need them. Not interested in them. They don't work well with us. So there's no woman out there that's going to change. Every woman out there that sees these perspectives and narratives of them being this type of woman, they won't change. Or they will simply just change momentarily to get you to drop your guard and then adhere to whatever it is that they want, and they will go back to being what they are. I welcome any woman to talk about flaws of a man of my stature. I've just never turned on a video and seen a woman talking about a man like me. It was always a nigga this or a nigga that. A motherfucker will come to your house and you and then go somewhere another itch. I ain't never heard a woman say, yeah, a motherfucker will take care of you. A motherfucker will pay all his bills. A motherfucker will take care of himself. A motherfucker will do that. Shoot, that motherfucker. I ain't never heard it. Never heard it. This is why all the women want me back. Because I was corny and I was all these things. Thank God I went to therapy today. I do. I would suggest and tell all you guys, go to therapy. If you ain't got no health insurance, go get Medicaid. Do something to go to therapy. Go to therapy. The most beautiful thing in the world is to be able to talk and not listen to somebody. Not the most beautiful thing about therapy is I was talking to somebody and rather it had been business than personal, but knowing that they're not going to come back with a, well, you should have. Yeah, it was so beautiful. Really. The therapy that I went to today was different than the therapy at the VA administration. VA administration therapy is 1 down, 5 more to go because you only get like 6 sessions. The therapy that I'm going to is outside the VA. VA's paying for it though. I got it like that. And I felt good. I felt so good about going to therapy today. I did. I will tell you guys, go to therapy. Go to therapy, please. You know, I listened to Howard Stern. I was actually listening to Howard Stern today. I was so happy that I went to listen to Howard Stern because Howard Stern says he goes to therapy 3 times a week. Howard Stern says he spends $30,000 a year on therapy. And therapy is so important, and therapy is a big need, and people actually need it that they don't know they need it. It's once again, it feels good to talk to somebody that won't, under no circumstances, listen to you and then take what you say and hold your words against you. That feels good. And when you have that, that being that person that's sitting down there listening to you, it feels good that when you say things, you know, because they're a therapist, they want to hear how much you acknowledge your pain. They want to hear how much you acknowledge your problem. They want to hear you they want to try to understand how you are navigating yourself through your pain and your hurt. They want to hear that. And you know, it just felt good to say this and then look at somebody and they smile at you, as opposed to say it to somebody and you can see they process and they're like, oh, I need to get away from this motherfucker. It just felt good. It felt real good. I was very, very, very happy today. Happy when I left therapy. You know, that's why I'm talking about it tonight. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Do not under circumstances use, you know, the unfortunate thing that that is said is the person that you love should be your best friend. I don't have one. Not interested in one anymore. When that woman comes around, when I feel feminine energy, then I will reactivate. I don't feel feminine energy. Not interested. What's going on, Insatiable? I see you. You know, individuals aren't, for what it's worth, women just aren't built for it. And, you know, I talk to my therapist about my childhood, talk to my therapist about, you know, how I don't talk to my mom, I don't talk to my daughter. And it felt good to be talking to somebody that is not sitting there, well, but that's your mother. And as I told you guys before, the biggest thing that you got to understand when you're talking to women of color is they don't want to hear you fighting a woman. Women of color want to hear you and a woman had a fight and she won, because then she knows, okay, but when you sitting down there and you're going through the motions on how somebody tried to bring you to your demise and you defended yourself, women don't want to hear that. Women want to hear that you're an easy victory. Women want to hear that when it's their turn for the sass. Women of color want to hear when it's their turn to want you over. They want to hear that you're going to buckle. You're going to fall in line. They want to hear that. They are not interested in you having a comeback. They're not interested in that. Better stop it. Yeah, you better stop it. My mom showed this to me. I didn't do nothing to her. Talked to my therapist today about going in the military. I talked to my therapist today about my brother not inviting myself and my oldest brother to my dad's funeral. I was talking to my therapist today and realized that I had to learn to cut it short. I start just really saying, don't dump everything into this one session. I start feeling so good about talking to my therapist. And I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go left for a second. I seen a video earlier and it said, you don't have friends. You don't. It said, let me tilt that down a little bit. It said, despite what you think, you don't have friends. And I actually try to tell a lot of women that and I didn't mean like y'all don't have friends, like you don't know them. What I was trying to get them to understand, which I will never ever try to do again. I want to be clear. I was just trying to get them to understand that your strongest friend should be your companion, the one that has an invested interest in your health and well-being, your mental state, physical state. That is the one you should be at one with. It just didn't work. And I had no problem telling my therapist today that, you know, I don't have that. You know, and one of the most beautiful things about me as a person, I'm very professional. Like when you look at me, you know, I'm clean cut. I wear, you know, my stuff, you know, my decent clothes. I have a look. I have a look that's always gonna say, "Oh, yeah, that dude. He's a clean cut dude. He's well groomed. Let's just say that he's well groomed." And then when I speak, I would like to think that my intellect matches me visually, match my visual. And so I was real comfortable when I was talking to my therapist today. Like I said, this is my second time going through this therapist, and we kind of I did the intake, and then I we talked today, and it was just beautiful. Harmonized, man. Listen, get you a therapist. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. You heard me? Go to therapy. I left my therapist today feeling good. You know, I left my therapist feeling real good. And uh, Insatiable, you said you're thinking about going? Go. Go. I remember, and I told my therapist today about the first time I went to therapy. The first time I went to therapy was in 2012. And the first time I went to therapy, I was the typical. So how you doing today? How you doing today? You know, I was very combative. My therapist is the reason why I moved. I don't know if y'all remember me saying that, but if I had never went to therapy, I'd still be up in Pennsylvania. Probably been locked up, probably then lost my mind. But living in Pennsylvania has been just the absolute worst. But once again, my therapist is the reason why I moved. My therapist is the one that told me I need to get out of here. You need to leave. You need to go somewhere and start over. My therapist told me that. And a lot of individuals may not realize it. I'm telling you here tonight that your biggest problem may be the life that you have. The rat race is real. And a lot of people think that they got things in hand. A lot of people think that they're okay. They're not okay. I'm smart enough to know I'm not okay. And the one thing that made my therapist smile today is when I said, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. I'm too smart to think that, you know, my success has diverted a lot. My success, as I told my therapist today, my success is keeping my pain at bay. I can only imagine someone that doesn't have success. Can't imagine. This is why I thank my father. This is why I love my dad. Everything that my dad taught me is the reason why that thing that's on my hip right now is on my hip and not one of the things inside the cartridges. I didn't put one in my brain. My dad. My therapist asked me, did I ever have any suicidal thoughts? Yep, I did. Why didn't you go through with it? She said, why didn't you go through it? Spiritual? Got nothing to do with God. Everything to do with my dad. Didn't want my dad to be disappointed. How I am as a man, how I move, my dad's curriculum. And it is amazing, to say the least. It is amazing to see people like, there are people out there with a lot of mental. There are people out there that are mentally up. They are. And one of the things that I realize, right, is that health is the entire body. You know, check this out. So I work out, right? Right now, y'all used to see me drink those green ginger beers. I gave it up for seltzer water. I had these at first, just the plain ones, but then over the weekend I went shopping and they had the flavored ones, and so this has 3 servings, but it only have it has no carbs. thought this had 2 carbs in it. Oh, it has no carbs. And maybe the other one has 2, but this one doesn't have any. All right. Nonetheless. And so I drink a lot of, because I drink these now, I drink a lot of water. I feel good. Skin looks decent. I work out, take care of my muscles, eat a lot of protein. Brought a meat slicer. I brought a rump roast or whatever the hell I brought, and just shaved it and made for dinner. I had my own cheese steaks tonight. I'm sure y'all picture my cheese steaks. I had my own cheese steaks. Had my own. So those are my cheese steaks. And I made those tonight. The bread, in fact, is 6 grams of carbs per 2 slices. The ketchup has 3 carbs, so I have 6 grams of carbs. So 12 and 12 and 12. So 24 grams of carbs in this sandwich. And of course, when you're in keto, the calories, I burn enough calories, so it's okay. But I take care of myself health-wise, right? And I walk, do my steps, went to the gym today. And you can listen to everybody talk about fitness, but what are they doing as far as their mental health? What exercises are they doing for the brain? What are they doing? And this is where individuals, you may offend them or you might lose them. And listen, therapy comes in many dynamics. I know people that got messed up over somebody dying. Death is a part of life, so you got to figure out what it is that is driving them and pushing them to love one, et cetera, somebody, a companion, lifelong. As much as my dad was a part of my life, I was glad when he died. Of course, he was hurting. I knew my dad was a strong man, and I'd much rather my dad had died. I'm not selfish. I'd rather my dad had died than suffer. I didn't want my dad. That mug was my hero. And I learned that again with my dog. When people are hurting and they going through this pain in life, and just let them go. Let them go and rejoice by the fact that they are no longer suffering. But so that's my thing. But there's a different type of pain when your child is still living and y'all don't have a relationship. And that's a different type of pain. And so I am not under no circumstances I'm not going to hurt over my dad dying. I'm not going to hurt over that. But when I do get to the point when I get all choked up over my dad, is I find it amazing that everything that man told me is the key to life. Everything my dad told me, every move that I make, every time I park my car and get out and walk out of my car, everything that my dad told me, everything is like if life is the 5th grade, my dad had his kids, his sons, in the 100th. Our curriculum was for the 100th grade. I look back now, I look and I see dark days coming. What I would tell anybody, you need to leave America. Other countries are not going to turn over their country to AI like America is. When you go to other countries, they still do fishing. They still live more of a indigenous life, but it's modernized. America is doing everything where it's going to be AI and robots because, you know, our government don't care about the people like that. But let me break it down to you like this. If you can remember, or you may not remember, if you can remember when, oh, you don't remember. Damn, why would you remember? When the Rockefellers created oil and they had a hold on the oil industry. So they called them a monopoly. So the Rockefeller oil was broken up into a lot of little companies, excuse me. America will then turn around today and allow a robotic company to create robots for everything and put people out of work and won't stop that. So when you look at the signs of things to come, America won't stop this holocaust of businesses. Well, you're going to go in stores now and it's going to be like, welcome back, Chris. And you're going to be so wired and so in tuned to working with robots. Robots are going to be patrolling the streets. It's going to happen. And in other countries, big corporations don't run the country. So they're not going to allow corporations to create things to bring humanity to its demise. They're not going to do that in other countries. It's not going to happen. You still go to, when I look at videos in other countries, farmers markets are bigger than these big, massive markets. Like, I haven't seen these giant markets like you see. They're there, but they're exclusive to that community. So it may be a big market and all the fruit in there be fruit grown in the market. Like, it ain't gonna be a truckload of stuff coming and make its way through Panama and provide all the food with that. It's not like that like it is here. We get pineapples from Hawaii. Dole is in Hawaii. If you ever been to Hawaii, you can go past the Dole farms. You can drive 10 miles and nothing but pineapples. The road goes right through it. And there's cameras everywhere. And it says, do not stop and take a pineapple. Don't do it. It's thievery. But other countries won't allow that to happen. So this country will allow a lot of monopolies. A lot of stuff is coming. Like I tell individuals, dark days are coming. Nonetheless. But it just, once again, it feels good to sit back and say, I went to therapy today and I put it all on the line and I just felt good. So much to the point where I'm going to start another company called Double D Pod. Yeah. Double D Pod. Dad dodging the point of destruction. That's what I did. For real. I dodged the point of destruction. I dodged it. You understand? You dodged the bullet. Dad dodged the point of destruction. There's a lot of fathers out there that didn't avoid the point of destruction. They're not here. 35 to 40,000 men every year kill themselves because they went to court and the courts told them you cannot have a relationship with your child. So those guys was pushed to the point of destruction. So this is why when people listen to me, especially my mom, for her to treat me and talk to me like trash and specifically say, and what exactly is the point of your business? Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Not gonna allow nobody to put a spin on my pain and my hurt. I'm honest with myself. Me not having a relationship with my daughter has fucked me up. It has. I'm not sitting here acting like it hasn't. What I'm not going to do is I don't ever want a relationship with her. I have to deal with that because, and I will say this and end it with this. I've seen, if y'all don't remember, he's dead now, Hulk Hogan. When he was on that reality show, they were a perfect family. They was, when they did their little commentary, the wife was all gullible. He just thinks everything is about wrestling. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as him and Vince McMahon had the fallout and he couldn't wrestle no more, she divorced him. She divorced him. I remember sitting in the VA administration office. And I remember there was 2 women and about 3 or 4 kids inside the office. And they couldn't give the man the decency. They could not give the man the decency to say, couldn't give him the decency to say and not talk about him. But I'm sitting in the office listening to 2 black females say, yeah, he was in blood. When they found him, he had a towel in his hand. He was embarrassed. He was trying to clean it up. You're talking about your father. They found him dead, and he was in on himself, and it was blood and mixed in with you. And you're talking about him. This is what men deserve. Why moms get praised all the time. This is why I'm not letting my mom off. I'm not letting my daughter off. The women of this continuous perspective that men don't mean nothing, fathers don't mean nothing. This is what everybody want to say. I'm a be the one to say no. We do. So fuck you. Problem is, I'm so pretty. I'm so fly. I'm supposed to be busted. I'm supposed to be old, fat, sloppy, be getting evicted from my apartment, going through my house, supposed to be getting foreclosed on. I'm supposed to be looking like shit. I ain't supposed to have the diamonds, the bracelet. I ain't supposed to have nothing. I ain't supposed to have the 7 BMWs. I ain't supposed to have the 5 streams of income. I ain't supposed to have the books that I wrote. I'm supposed to be busted. So I'm going to be the face of you, because like I said, I seen how Hulk Hogan was treated when he died, when he got laid off. What you call it? His family said, "Fuck him." So all the men, we sit down there and we got to be the ones always worrying about everybody, always making sure everybody's okay, and nobody makes sure we okay. You heard it. Papa was a Rolling Stone. But then the song about mama, they praise mama. I'll always love my mama. She brought me in this world. You only get one, yeah. What about Pop? Oh man, Pop was out in the streets doing his thing. But then when we talk about fathers, it was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. 'Cause that was a day that my daddy died. Folks said Papa used to beg, borrow, and steal to pay his bills. So he had good credit, he just wasn't shit. Oh my gosh, man. I'm not going to be that dude. I'm going to be that man that's going to be praised. Like I said, Hulk Hogan's wife, I seen the woman talking bad about, they're her father. And everybody act as if though when it comes to fathers, you just got to take the scraps that they give you. So I'm told this. The women used to say this to me. If your daughter call you back, you will speak to her, won't you? No. For what? Scrap time? Is that what I'm worth? I'm worth scrap time. Is that what it is? I'm a scrap time nigga. Is that what it is? I'm supposed to say, well, at least I get to see my grandkids and my daughter 40 now. Now we have a relationship. Fuck that. Fuck that. Not fucking interested. I'm not. This is a man here. I'm tired, son. Not allowing nobody to say, oh, you get scrap time. Nah. Fuck out of here. Not happening. Maybe, just maybe, I taught my fucking dumbass mother, my dumbass daughter. Maybe I taught these bitches this. When you got a good man, it's what the fuck he say, not you say. All right? Maybe they learned that. Maybe they learned that. You know what? I got a feeling that they did. Because there's nothing on this planet that'll get me to speak to either one of them creatures ever again. A woman will love me day one. The day you decide, remember, I'm putting bitches out by the second. The second you decide to say me, our relationship is over. The second after that. There's no 1 minute later. No, it's not at all. 1 minute later is 58 seconds too late. You're late. Not happening. I'm great. You're not going to tell me I'm not to treat me like trash. What society tells men that we are trash to justify the way they treat us. Society, if you sit back and listen to all the things and all the women that are talking, they're all the women that ain't worth a damn, right? But when you go look in history, history tells us otherwise. I've never seen the women that built America. No, never seen that. Never seen that on the History Channel. It was the men that built America. The Rockefellers, the Chase from Chase Manhattan Bank, Pulitzer from the Pulitzer Prize, Ford from Ford Motor Company, Vanderbilt from the company Gloria Vanderbilt, of course, the Rockefeller Center in New York, the Carnegie Hall in New York, the Carnegies. I've seen these shows. I'm waiting for the women that built America. Yeah, I've seen, all these shows and now back to the making of the Empire State Building. Go back to showing that old funny looking film. I ain't see a woman building. I ain't never seen a woman on one of them beams. I've seen men walking up the beams, 120 stories up in the air, walking on beams. I ain't never seen a woman do that. But yet, in 2020s, we supposed to now, they deem us as we're too masculine, toxic masculinity, so you can dumb yourself down. You fell for that shit, didn't you? Every time we turn around, we under attack. I said it the other day. We went from the liberation movement of the feminist movement. Then we went to the independent chick. Then we went through the Me Too movement. Now we had to deal with the boss bitch. Now we had to deal with the baddie. We're constantly dealing with the new invention of the woman. We got to bow down to all these new titles. Every other fucking year, there's a new title. They done added a new title. So it's when it say all these things, and the man ain't changed. We still men. We still ain't added on nothing. We still ain't said nothing. We're still men from the 40s and 50s. Still men. But we got to listen to women. I'm an alpha. I'm a baddie. All these new fucking names. While meanwhile, their feminine side is out the window. Their nurturing side is extinct. You're going to sit down there and you're going to go for that. Not your boy. Once again, I can give 2 fucks, 5 assholes, and about 7 to 8 dams. You are a woman. I don't care what the kind of job you got. Don't care the money you make. You will always be beneath me. Good night.